Hi everyone! Last October I made a video entitled The Witch Karma, in which I spoke about certain aspects of the feminine, the oppressed feminine. And I will certainly make another video to speak about the other aspects of the divine feminine. But here in this video I would really like to address the subject that we more rarely talk about, which is the divine masculine. So I will be talking about the most luminous aspects of the divine masculine, but also all the shadow side that it has been carrying. When I connected with the collective masculine energy, I felt there was a tremendous amount of pain, a lot of heaviness, and a lot of guilt. And the masculine is really currently also experiencing a great healing. 8,000 years ago, humanity has moved into patriarchy, and since then, men have dominated the world, they have dominated women through power and control, and they have revealed the darkest aspect of the masculine ego. But it wasn't always like that, because before the patriarchy, there was actually a matriarchy on Earth. And this matriarchy functioned primarily through the worshipping of the goddess creator, from which all life originates, and it also functioned through the respect of the natural laws. So it was pretty harmonious. At that time, women had a superior influence over men. They were the decision-making authority in the society, in the tribe. And in the first place, it was harmonious, but in the end, the matriarchy also revealed a shadow aspect. In the end, men were considered a bit like stallions, like janitors. They were only made to procreate, to give the best descendants possible, and they were also doing a lot of physical tasks in the society. One of the laws of the universe is a law of balance, and everything is cyclical. So 8,000 years ago, men actually realized that they were much stronger physically than women, and they rebelled against women, and so they took the power by force. Since then, they have ruled the world through violence, through war, through the pursuit of power, of material wealth, through destruction, and they have made of women inferior beings. They have made them sexual prey, breeders, and domestic slaves. Today we are witnessing yet again another turnaround. The earth is experiencing a spiritual awakening, and this awakening is mainly guided by women. They are bringing back feminine values such as love, compassion, heart-centeredness, and gentleness. So this is why we speak of the return of the divine feminine, the return of the goddess. But this doesn't mean that we are going to switch back into a matriarchy. This means that the feminine is here to liberate herself, to heal herself, and to help the masculine heal himself, so that it can be a balance between these two polarities. And this balance really happens through us, because ascension happens through us. So each and every one of us, we have to find this balance within us between our feminine aspect and our masculine aspect, a balance between our left brain and our right brain. The return of the divine feminine raises many questions in today's men, and actually there's a bit of a loss of identity, because men do not know who they are anymore, they don't know what to do anymore. They feel a bit helpless when they see that women are getting together, they are reforming circles, they are supporting each other. They don't know exactly what their role is anymore. They don't know how to behave outside of their work at home with their wives and children. And they carry very often subconsciously all the generational burden of this dominant masculine, and it creates a lot of guilt. One of the reasons there is this loss of masculine identity is because there are very few, if not any, role models for the divine masculine in our society. The fathers, the grandfathers, they carry all the conditioning of the patriarchy, all the wounds, all the guilt. Men of power today there are questions, they are dismissed. So only remains all the great spiritual masters and the great kings that have come to earth to spread this divine masculine energy, such as Osiris, Yeshua, King Solomon, Melchizedek, etc. So men ask themselves, what is it to be a man in the end? What does society tell us about being a man? Is it to have big muscles? Is it to have a career? Is it to provide for the family? Is it to have a big bank account? And the ultimate question is also, what is the divine masculine? The divine masculine is verticality. It's the link between the sky and the earth. The divine masculine is connected to the sun, to the fire and air elements. The divine masculine is action and movement. And yet the divine masculine is this pillar that is deeply grounded into the earth. The feminine is this fluctuating, unstable and changing, and the divine masculine is the pillar. It's the stability that the feminine needs. The feminine is a bit like the butterfly flying all around, and the masculine is the branch on which the butterfly can land. The feminine is creation and the unmanifested. The masculine takes all of that, it takes the inspiration and it brings it back, it forms it into the material world. The masculine takes ideas and structures them. The divine masculine is a builder, it's an entrepreneur. The divine masculine is related to wisdom, to knowledge, to protection, to security, to responsibility, to physical strength, to courage, to encouragement, to decision making. The divine masculine is a warrior, but it is a peaceful warrior because he has made peace with his wounds, with his desire for power, and he is rather on a quest for love. The divine masculine is chivalry. The divine masculine is the troubadours and the court of love. So I could of course continue, but I would like to come back to today's men. And we are witnessing currently a great shift within men, and we can only be happy about that. And to oversimplify things, I would say there are two types of men in our society today. There are those who are too far in their masculine. So these are men who are completely cut off from their emotions, from their intuition, from spirituality, and they function very much with their minds, with anything logic and concrete. And on the other side, there are the men who are too far in their feminine. And these are men who are very sensitive, but they have problems growing up, maturing, they have problems finding reference points, they have problems to build their lives and take responsibility, and they are like little children or like wounded children looking for mommies. A couple of years ago, when one attended a spiritual or self-help conference or workshop, there were about 99% of women there, and the 1% of men remaining were often dragged by force by their women. And this is really starting to change, I see, because more and more men are taking the initiative to work on themselves, to work on their childhood wounds, and are starting a spiritual path. One of the main problems that men have in our society is that they have been conditioned not to show their emotions, because emotion is vulnerability, and vulnerability is weakness. And we live in a society where the mentality is very much a sink or swim mentality, and weakness is not tolerated. So luckily I see that more and more men are getting out of these patterns, and they're actually opening up and surrendering to this vulnerability. And I had great examples of this last year during my workshop of men who are completely okay with their vulnerable side, but at the same time they really act as pillars because they were grounding the energy of the entire group just by their presence, and it was very beautiful to watch. And besides that, we're also witnessing now in the spiritual community men who have done the work, who attended the workshops, who have opened up, who know all the self-help books by heart, who honor the divine feminine within them, but yet again they have gone too far into the feminine, because these are men who live very much in their imagination. They let themselves carried by the wind, they play music all day, they forget to ground themselves and to actually build their life. So women are really puzzled because what they want are men that are balanced and grounded into their masculine. So men don't understand anymore. They're like, but you said that you wanted us to open up, you know, to be more sensitive, to open up to the feminine side, and now you're saying that you want a real man, and we just don't understand what you want. So once again, it's really a question of balancing within ourselves the feminine and the masculine aspect. It's about integrating also all the suppressed aspects that we might have and healing them. So there is not only one model of man or one model of woman. We are all unique and we all experience and go through different aspects of the feminine and the masculine, but it's just a matter of finding a balance between the two. Men should gather together again, they should reform circles of brotherhood, they should support each other, they should perform rituals together, because in traditional societies there are a lot of rites of passage to adulthood, to becoming a man, and all of that can be found again. The divine masculine holds space for the feminine to open up and blossom and become what the feminine is truly about. And the feminine is assisting the masculine in this healing. It is guiding the masculine back to the heart so that both hearts can unite again in this one eternal love. And I think I can say in the name of all women that we are only wishing for you, all men out there, to heal this wounded aspect of the divine masculine. We only wish to see you in your greatness, in your nobleness again, because we need you. And we only wish to see that you radiate from your solar plexus, that you connect with the sacred heart of the feminine again. And we are only waiting for you also to start moving to assist the feminine, to support the feminine in this birthing of this new heart-centered humanity, so that our children can run freely and express themselves freely in their spontaneity, in their joy, fruits of this union of the hearts. So some of you may ask why I'm not doing a healing prayer for the masculine like I did in the witch karma video. But the thing is, I don't program anything, I just let myself be in the flow in the moment, whatever happens. And nothing came to me, so I think it's probably not the right time, or I don't know. But what did come to me when I was writing the article on this subject, so when I write I usually listen to classical music, so I'll put a music on YouTube, and YouTube randomly jumped to a piece of music from Prokofiev entitled The Dance of the Nights. And I thought that was just perfect for this subject, and I really invite you to actually listen to this music and go within and try to feel what is the masculine, what is the inner masculine for you, and let yourself be guided by the music. So I will see you soon. Sat Nam.